Hello, anyone here? All right, so for those of you who may not know, I have a podcast called Making the Brand that I started about a year ago. Not now, Dad, sorry. Um, sorry. I have a podcast called Making the Brand that I started about a year ago on a whim. And I figured if you're thinking about podcasting, maybe it's something you already do or something you're thinking about. I just want to walk you through my process because when I started it, I was really apprehensive and I built up podcasting in my mind to be this incredibly challenging thing that was impossible to do. And once I got into it and over that fear, I realized it's not as complicated as I had built it up to be in my head. So, just want to walk you through my process and what I do, but feel free to ask me questions along the way. There are probably a million and one ways to do a podcast. I still consider myself a beginner, but one way or another, my podcast is out there in the world on Spotify and all of the things, Apple Podcasts. So I consider that a success. I'm always working on it and trying to figure out how to make it better, but this process is working for me. So just some background on the podcast. If you've never listened to it before, it discusses two things that I love, marketing and pop culture. So I recently did an episode with Jay-Z, Jake Zachariah, if any of you follow him, or maybe he's watching, I'm not sure. And we did an episode about marketing lessons from Harry Potter. So the first thing I do with those guest interviews is I schedule them, usually via DMs, but we just record them through Zoom. So you can see this is what it ends up looking like. You can see the recording here, and I end up just downloading this recording. There are some other features or software that you can use to record it that might be a little cleaner, but oh, thanks, Adam. Hi. But I have a Zoom account. It's just what I started using. It's what I'm comfortable with, so it's what I use. So I would just download the full file, and you can see here we are chatting away. This is when we recorded it earlier this week. And I then take that and I drop it into a program I have called ScreenFlow. I don't really know my way around Premiere or any of those other fancy ones, but ScreenFlow works nicely for me. It's kind of like, oh, Daniel's here, hi. It's kind of like the bare minimum of what I need to make it look decent, sound decent, and to get it live. So let me see if I could show you ScreenFlow. If I change the screen share here. Woo! Let's see. Stop screen. Okay, share screen. Here we go. Okay, so this is ScreenFlow. And it originally here on the video part, because it has video as well, had the interview of Jake and I where you could see us, but I ended up removing that. So now you see it's really just an audio file. So here in the beginning is where I always paste my intro music and the intro audio. And then here, this whole clip is my interview with him. And usually interviews are pretty seamless edits because, I don't know, unless we trip up in the middle of it, there's not much to edit besides the beginning and the end. There was one point in here, let me see if I can zoom out and you can see it. There was one point over here where there's like a ding of some kind or some sound, so I edited that out. But for the most part, pretty clean edit. Then I just throw my music on at the end. So once I go through here and I edit the audio, it's a really simple export. I would just go to File. I don't think you guys can see this, but I would export it as an AAC file or an MP4, MP3. And then from there, that's where I use Anchor, which is a free podcast distribution software. If you guys use Anchor, let me know, but let me just go back to showing you this window. Here we are. So here's Anchor. Here's my stats, nothing crazy, but when I have a new episode, I just go in here. Let me see if you guys can see this. Yeah. I go in here, and you can also record within Anchor. I personally don't. It might be easier, but I don't know. I've just gotten so used to this process. So click to upload or drag. Let's see, my computer is painfully slow. There you go. All right, so that's going to take a second to upload. But I love Anchor just because it takes, all you have to do is upload your file and it distributes it to Spotify, to Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, all of the things just with a few clicks. You don't really have to think about it. So yeah, it's really awesome. Do any of you have any questions while this is uploading? Let me know. I mean, I know Daniel already has a podcast. Do you have a podcast, Adam? You do. Let me know. I need to listen. Okay, we are at processing. So once this is done processing, I'll actually change. Oh God, did I mess that up? I'll change the name of this here because this file name is visible to the audience, so I don't want them to see episode 8. It's kind of ugly. But what else? So also, once I have it live on Anchor, I just host everything on my website as well. So I have a little page here just with an accordion, which I find to be easiest. I probably should make individual pages for all of the episodes, at least for SEO value, but this is what I've done in the interim to combat my laziness. So, all right. Wow, that's still going. Okay. A couple other things. I have this blog post that I wrote, if you're thinking about podcasting, that really tells you just about my podcast, my process personally, but just some things to think about before you start it. Naming your podcast, cover artwork, give you some instruction there if you want to use Canva. Equipment and software. This was the microphone I used to have. I have since upgraded, but this is a great starter mic. It's by Audio-Technica. Let's see, I bought it for $63 and now I believe it's up to $99. But still a pretty good value for what it is. Yeah, $99 now. I'm sure this is an updated version that's probably better than the one I had. So get yourself a mic. There's another option. A Yeti is a little bit pricier if you want to invest. And then, yeah, I use Anchor to distribute it, all free. Here is ScreenFlow. As you can see here, ScreenFlow, you can edit video as well. I am certainly not an expert, but I've been able to get by. And it's $129 a year, which I thought in comparison was pretty affordable. For music, if you're interested, I use Premium Beat. You can go on there and get some pretty good tracks. Mine was under $50, just a one-time investment. And, this is a tip that some people don't know about. There is this resource called Headliner, where you can create what are called audiograms. If you've ever seen these little snippets.
As someone who's...
Ooh, that's my voice. As little snippets of podcasts with a little waveform going, I do that with Headliner, which is also free. You can export 10 videos or audiograms a month. Okay, let's see how Anchor is doing. All right, this is done. So I'm going to call this the marketing wizardry of Harry Potter as told by a super fan. Let's put his holding. I think if you're watching this, hello. So I can go ahead and save. I'll probably rewrite this here. The marketing wizardry. Oh, I think I spelled it wrong over there before. Of Harry Potter as told by superfan Jake Zachariah. All right, now I have to think of something really clever and interesting to write here. If anyone has any input, let me know. I'm usually pretty bad at this part, especially when there's pressure like this. So Harry Potter, I'll come back and edit this, but Harry Potter is a phenomenon. I don't know. We'll fix that later. Here are some of the marketing lessons behind the book's success, plus the movies, merch, experiences, and more. I chat with Big Easy. If you're just tuning in now, I'm going to rewrite this later about some of his takeaways as a huge Harry Potter fan. And then I'll link to his website and all of his stuff. So this is season 4, episode 8. And since I want to fix this up a little bit, I'm not going to publish it now. I'm going to save it as a draft. Daniels, if you're still here, is this what you use? Do you use Anchor? Let me know. But I can also, let me see, where's the thing that I can schedule it? Oh, publish now. Let's schedule it for tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I just have to clean this up. But that's really it. I just upload it there and people can access it. It goes onto Spotify, onto Apple Podcasts, and it all just starts from a Zoom interview that I download, drop it in a ScreenFlow, edit, upload here, and it's available to the public. So if you're thinking about starting a podcast, let me know. Like I said, I still feel like a beginner, but these tools have served me well. And yeah, I've been doing it just a little over a year now. So let me know. Do you guys have any questions before I close this out? Just wanted to give you a quick little walkthrough. Say hello if you're watching. Again, if you're thinking about it, you can check out my podcast guide. I could also show you Headliner really quick. So Headliner is where I make those audiograms so I could repurpose them for Twitter. It's completely free. And if my friend Danielle is watching, she introduced me to this. So thank you, Danielle. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Send me the link, Adam. Is it about SEO? Keep me posted. Definitely want to check it out. So I'll log in. And then I choose the audiogram wizard. And oh, it's not there yet, obviously, because I didn't schedule it. It's not live. But I did the same thing with the Peloton episode with Christina. So it'll populate. You can search and find your podcast, but it'll populate all of the episodes there. There I am. So then I just pick the one I want to create the audiogram for. Let's pick this Harry Styles one because I know I have the graphic up. So then you're able to listen to it and pick the part of the clip that you want to feature on the audiogram. So obviously, since Twitter only allows for videos that are 2 minutes and 20 seconds or under, you want to be cognizant of that. You don't want to try to drop this whole thing in. But maybe I want to take a minute and turn it into an audiogram. So you just go through. Oops, why is it? Oh, I think my computer just froze a little bit. But you can just go through and select the part of the clip. There we go. That you want to transform into the audiogram. And then you definitely want to turn this on. You can do free transcription. So you can see it's only free for 8 minutes a month. I might have had 10 minutes and I already used 2. I don't remember, but totally worth it. And because of that, I'm going to turn it off right now because I don't want to waste those minutes on just an example here. So choose my aspect ratio, for Instagram, obviously vertical, but I'm going to choose this. And it defaults to just your cover art, but you can upload your own artwork here. So that's where my Canva comes into play, where I've made these little graphics that I use as YouTube thumbnails or also my audiograms. And the waveform will go down here. So let's download, page 22. Kelsey, if you're watching, there you are, front and center. Adam, do you make audiograms for yours? Okay. Then, where am I? Go back to Headliner, and now I can choose image, and then replace, upload, or it's apparently connected to Canva. I could just download it right there. There we go. Perfect. So now I've dropped Kelsey in here. And now I can even edit this waveform if I want. There are a bunch of cool different different things you could do to show the audio. But I do like that one. What happened to my positioning? A little padded. Yeah, padded like makes it smaller like that. But yeah, you can choose any of these. They're all really fun and kind of mesmerizing. And then you click create. Let's do the advanced editor. I don't think I ever really used that. Then it takes a second and generates it. And then you can take that exact little snippet, upload it to Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. It's just a friendlier way. Instead of saying, hey, go bounce out of Instagram and go listen to my podcast, you have a better chance of them actually going and listening to it if you give them a preview of what to expect. So that's what I use, and then it generates this cool little graphic, as you saw here. Here's another example of one. So that's pretty it, guys. And I just post it and get it out there and hope people listen to it, hope people review it. And yeah, so it was a lot easier than I thought. And yeah, if you have any questions, call me, tweet me, whatever you got to do. But that is my process, all sort of thanks to Anchor. So, all right, I'm going to sign off if you guys don't have any questions about podcasting. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this was helpful to someone. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.